Hello, Year 9. I'm Miss Smallbone. It's really lovely to be able to take some time today to be able to tell you about the amazing course that is really close to my heart, as you know, and the inspirational topic that is food preparation and nutrition. I could literally talk all day about what is so great about food preparation and nutrition. However, I've tried to condense it in just a few short things. So one of the greatest things that I love to learn about food is how and why ingredients respond in the way that they do. I'm always so fascinated when I give out a recipe and I end up sometimes with 20 different versions of the same recipe. And it's incredible to think that just by tweaking things by 1 or 2 grams or having the oven 1 or 2 degrees different, the difference that that can make to the overall outcome of your bake. And sometimes, quite frankly, you can do everything it says correct, but like the picture there, my cake just sinks. And hopefully you will find some of the answers to some of your burning questions about food science within this course. The other thing that we look at is we really delve into the practical elements of food, and you will learn some new skills that you may not have used before, and you may come into contact with ingredients you may have never seen or tasted before. And I always say to you, let's tantalize those taste buds. Let's try and inspire people to pick up their forks and eat things that are different. We also learn about where our food comes from, and we look at our food from where it is grown or reared to the consumption, and sometimes even what happens to that food as it is reused or if it is disposed. The other thing that we look at is we look at why our food spoils and how we can prevent our food from becoming contaminated. And then the last topic that we look at is obviously about how we can keep ourselves healthy through the food that we eat. As you can see, the careers and future in food can be really exciting and really broad. However, if a career in food isn't where you see your future, then fundamentally, guys, everyone needs to eat. Everyone needs to have the inspiration and the enjoyment out of what they are eating. So like I said, this course is amazing if you just want to have inspiration for food in your future. However, if a career in food is where you see your future developing, then fundamentally food can be split into 2 sections. Careers that feed the nation, so producing the food, processing the food, and then providing the food in terms of hospitality and catering. And then the other side is where you are educating people about food, or you're supporting the nation in their education of food. Now, the course that I did at university was food and consumer management, and obviously, as you know, that has taken me into teaching. However, there have been other people on my course who have gone into many different careers, such as an environmental health officer working in Birmingham. Someone has actually gone into the media and is the home economist for a very famous chef on telly. Another has gone into equipment and works for an equipment company in processing and developing the recipes that come out in recipe books for those particular pieces of equipment. Someone else who went into hospitality. Another who is developing, as we speak, new dishes for hospitals to make sure that people recovering from illness are having the full nutrition that they need. Another person went into food styling, and then I think the one that I'm most jealous of is someone who basically sources ingredients for a supermarket. So they get to travel all around the world sourcing the best ingredients for the supermarket to produce their products. So as I said, if a career in food is something that you think you want to do, then the next steps after GCSE are you deciding whether you want to take this into sixth form, into a level 3 qualification such as food science and nutrition, or whether college is more of a setting that suits you better. And in that respect, you would do level 3 Catering, you could do hospitality and retail if you wanted to, or if chefing and real cooking is where you see yourself, then you can do apprenticeships in the workplace. Then from A-level or college, you can then progress on into university if that is what you wish, to do courses such as food science, food management, catering and hospitality, new product development and dietitian. Now, I remember someone saying to me that whatever career you do in food, you have to be willing to take a few risks and to inspire the nation. The scheme of learning that we follow for GCSE food preparation and nutrition is AQA. Okay, now the brilliant thing about this qualification is that it still allows you to do a non-exam assessment, which is basically like the old style coursework. So 50% of your GCSE will be based on your knowledge in an exam. The other 50% will be based on 2 non-exam assessments, which we will do in year 11. So the paper tests your knowledge on sections 1 to 5, which you can see in colour underneath the boxes. It's an hour and 45-minute paper with 100 marks, and like I said, it is 50% of your GCSE. Now, the good thing about this exam paper is that 20 marks out of the 100 are multiple choice questions. And then the other questions are based on 1 question with subcategories for each of the 5 sections that you can see on the screen. For your non-exam assessment, you will do 2, as I say, both in year 11, one probably between September and November, and the other one I launch in December and then it goes through to March. So task 1 is a 1500 to 2000 word report, and it is based on the scientific principles of what we are going to be studying. So you do a scientific experiment, so such as what makes cakes rise, what makes potatoes go brown and how can we stop it, what is the best fat to use in a pastry. Okay, they are just a few that we've had in the past. Then the second one, this is the one that is really heavily assessed with your practical, which is fantastic. It's a 20-hour research project. Okay, so we do it all in school. 20 hours, of those, a total of 12 hours is based on practical. Okay, and within that time you will do a 3-hour practical exam where you cook 3 dishes. Okay, so I love the fact that you are now formally assessed and there are lots of marks for your practical, which I know for a lot of you will be a key strength. So what we actually look at is we look at food preparation skills. So in year 10 we will do lots and lots of practical looking at different skills. There are 12 skills that you have to demonstrate in total, and they range from setting, so using gelatin, to binding, so making burgers or creating falafel or creating layers in a trifle, for example. Also down to your knife skills, so we'll be doing some filleting and we'll be doing some portioning of different ingredients. And then we also look at the role of different types of cooking methods, such as stir frying, roasting, blanching, poaching, you name it, we are going to look at it. Within the 5 sections, we look at diet, nutrition and health, which is food linked to health. So how does food impact on our bodies and how does our bodies impact on our food? We look at the science behind food in section 2, so answering questions like I've said, why does this set with this ingredient? What might bind these 2 ingredients together? So for example, what allows oil and water to combine? What stops an apple going brown? What does allow a cake to rise? Then we look in section 3 at food safety, and you will have an opportunity to receive an extra qualification in year 11. You can opt to do the level 1 food safety and hygiene course. Then in section 4 we look at food choice. So we look at what actually determines what someone eats. Why does someone go to a supermarket and pick up the value product and someone else do the finest? What actually makes someone buy a particular branded product rather than a non-branded product? What makes people change their dietary needs, such as turning vegetarian? And then the final section, which I think sometimes is the one that alerts people to the newest information, is we look at food provenance. So we look at where our food comes from, how we source it, how we package it, how we create that food in order to be palatable for us to eat. Okay, so we look at the whole life cycle of food from field to fork, and like I said, sometimes we go on further to look at what actually happens to the food once we have either finished eating it and throw it away, or what happens to it when it comes out in the toilet. So some really exciting things to cover there. But not only subject-specific topics linked to food, but some really good transferable skills that you can use in other subjects as well, such as confidence building and communication skills, numeracy skills and time management, life skills, and we also look at budgeting, because we look at the costings of food and why we would choose, for example, a lower value product compared to a higher value product, and whether that has any implications. So as you can see, a really wide and varied selection of topics that we cover that should appeal to everyone's love of food. Don't just take my word for it, year 9, because I think my subject is absolutely amazing. Here are some comments from current and past students about why they love GCSE food preparation and nutrition. If you talk to any student who has taken food preparation and nutrition, they will all say that when I talk about their 3-hour exam and what they have to achieve in that time frame, they all say, I can't do it, it's not going to be possible, I'm really scared, I don't know what I'm doing. And then if you look on the screen at some of the amazing achievements that our year 11s have created, they will be able to say, and they do say, I can do that. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And I'm not entirely sure where I found this quote, but it's a quote that I've written in my diary, and I've written in every single diary every year. And I just thought I'd leave you with this. The universal language of food is one of love, inspiration, nurture, comfort, and cherishment. We all need food. So let's inspire and teach the love of food to the world together. And I really hope to see some of you in my year 10 class in September this year. If you do want any more information, then I'm happy for you to book a slot at Parents' Evening, or you can email me any of your questions. Take care, God bless.